So I actually came up here to talk about something else, but I've came up and I'm just taking a wee moment to actually appreciate how beautiful it is up here. But I was having this conversation with Ailey the other day and I was like, we've really done it, haven't we? We've really optimised our life to literally live it on our terms. And you go through so much pain, you go through so much struggle in your life, you feel like you're fighting an uphill battle and you never actually take a moment to just appreciate where you are, how you're living, how you're feeling, how you're looking, how you're operating. And I can hand on heart say I'm one of the best spots I've been in. And not even that long ago, I felt like I was in a little bit of a funk. I had some stuff going personally and I really felt there was a bit of a dark shadow cast over my head. So very grateful to be feeling the way I'm feeling right now, to be living the way I'm living right now. Anyway, I wanted to come on and chat a bit about a conversation that really stood out there. So one in particular with one of our clients, I'm not going to mention any names, I'm not going to put anyone on the spot, but this client is 21 years old. Typically we work with people that are 25 to 40 years old. That's the typical demographic. We have some people that are older than 40 and we have some people that are younger than 25, but the average age is about 33, I think, currently right now inside RFA. So why we don't usually work with people that are that young is typically because of maturity reasons. However, we've got two guys in the program right now that are both the same age and they're very, very mature for their age. So much so it makes me very envious about where I was at that point in my life. There was a conversation that really stood out and we're basically going back and forward, and I've worked with this client for a period of time now and we were just talking about something and I basically said to him, I had a little bit of a rant, not to him, but I was just kind of talking away, going off on one, and I said something along the lines of, most people's standard of good is my standard of mediocrity. And he came back and he's like, that landed so hard, that hit me so hard. And he's like, I always remember you saying something to me. I'm from a really deprived area of Scotland. I'm from an area where there's like a very low income, there's a lot of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and it's very, very easy for me, because I am doing good in life right now, to actually create a glass ceiling for myself and actually really put the brakes on and start accepting things in, because so many people are always telling me, you're doing so good right now, everything looks amazing that you're doing, and rightly so, what he is doing is great. But what I said to him is, as a high performer and someone that really wants to get a one-up in their life and live a life that's just absolutely outrageous, feel good, perform well, live just like a life that they cannot even imagine, it requires you to continuously go above and beyond. And the biggest thing that you need to realise about your direct circle, the people that are your friends that you grew up with, that you went to school with, your parents, your family, right? Unless they're on the same path as you, they're going to have a different thought process, they're going to have a different ideology of what they want from their life. And if you're continually listening to that and accepting that, it can actually keep you back. Now, this isn't to say what they're saying is good, bad, right or wrong, but you need to remember, advice is going to come from different people, from different angles for the same situation. For example, if I was having a conversation with my mum and I had a bit of a long week and I was quite tired and I was a little bit beat up and I was a little bit tired from training, I had a big workload and I had some stressors there, and I basically said this to my mum. My mum's response would be, Christian, make sure, have you eaten enough right now? What's your sleep like right now? How are you feeling about yourself right now? And she would just be looking at it from like a care standpoint, making sure that she's got my best interest in heart, because that's my mum. Now, if I had that same conversation with my mentor, the response would probably be something along the lines of, mate, this is what you have to go through when you're going to the next level. I know you're working hard right now, but in a few weeks you've got a bit of time coming up. And the point I'm trying to get at here is that you can give the same problems to the same people, and they will, to different people, and they will give you different responses. And this is why you need to be so careful with who you share your goals with, who you go to advice for, who you essentially show vulnerability to. Now, I'm not saying don't be vulnerable, right? But let's say, for example, you're going through a lot of change right now and you're really up against it, your back's against the wall, and you're going to people that have never been where you are going. You're going to them with worries and stressors and pressures, and you're maybe even feeling a bit sorry for yourself, and I have to do this and I have to do that. They won't get it unless they're living the life that you're living, right? They just won't get it. And I'm not telling you to shed your friends. I'm not telling you to essentially stop talking to the people that you hang about with. All I am saying is be very conscious and aware of who you're sharing your goals with, who you're looking to and leaning on for advice, and who you're gaining perspective from, because the perspective that you're maybe seeking isn't the one that you're actually going to get. And there's actually different types of people for different types of things that I have in my life. So for Ailey's my partner, she's also my business partner as well. But there's some things that I just won't seek advice from for her. She's my best friend, she's the love of my life, she's my fiance, she's my business partner. But actually, that's why I have a coach. It's why I have a mentor, because I've got big goals in my life. And if I'm just constantly trying to seek out the same advice from the same person continually, I'm always going to end up with the same answers. So this is my message to you guys. Just because you're doing good right now, don't get too high in your own supply. Don't feel like you're way beyond where you are because people keep telling you that you're doing great. You are doing great, and it's really important to care about what other people think about you 100%. But remember where it's coming from. That person might have never actually surpassed the level that you're on. So to them, you're in this like state of absolutely like, they can't even begin to imagine the level that you're operating on. But actually deep down, you know that there's so much left on the table. You know that you've actually got to good, but you've never actually achieved what it is to actually get to great. So yeah guys, I just wanted to come up for a little bit of a rant of a conversation that really stood out to me. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe to the channel. Anyway, see you later. Goodbye.